I just feel scrambly, if you will, circular, if you will, spiraling. Hey guys, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to the Cinematic Reviewer. Today I'm reviewing Inside Out 2. So this was my most anticipated movie of the year. I was so looking forward to it. And what I really liked before the movie came out was how refreshing it was to go back to more like that proper promotion of movies. Since COVID, it doesn't seem like it's been that great with promoting movies. So I really liked that we really got to see so much from them. And it just was really nice where it's like, it gave you more faith that the movie was going to be good. At the same time, I would say they gave us a little too much at times. I'm a little like, am I even going to be surprised by anything happening in the movie? You're giving us pretty much everything. Fortunately, that is not the case, but it kind of felt like it at times. Now, so far, I've really only seen some very, very positive, glowing reviews about this movie. I know a lot of people really, really loved it. And what's really nice about whether it be because it's Inside Out 2 or the fact that it seemed to be pretty solid promotional campaign, whatever the case may be, the fact that so many people have come out to see the movie is really nice because, as we all know, the box office, people coming to the theaters this year has been abysmal at best. It's been really, really bad. And obviously, the slate of movies this year have been poor, so it's perfectly justified and valid, but it can be a little bit of a bummer to see that it's like, oh, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, our movie theater's dying, are we gonna have to find some other way of watching movies on the big screen? And fortunately, you know, this movie is doing really well. You know, opening weekend, $155 million, that's really solid, and it continues to be surpassing certain records, which is really good. So all that to say, like, you know, solid promotional campaign, solid performance of the movie. People really come to see it, which is great. It was really nice to see when I went to the theater myself. So many people were there. The last time I saw that many people, I think, was for Barbenheimer. So I was like, hey, this is great to see, guys. But my personal opinion, I was disappointed by Inside Out 2. It was not quite the winner for me. I was kind of trying to set my expectations low because movies, as I'm trying to say, have not been doing very good for a duration of time. It's the past couple of years, it's been pretty disappointing. Movies all across the board, just not very good. So I'm like, all right, this is a sequel. It could definitely go bad, but this is looking like a good movie. Let's see what happens. However, for me, Inside Out was so good, so excellent. I'd say, like, such a good job, and it had, you know, that hard-hitting emotional moments. It also had some very good, solid comedic moments. Like, it just had, across the board, a really well-done job. Now, for me, for this movie, I just don't feel that, I don't know, cohesiveness, the solid love that was poured into the movie. I think they did it really well in Inside Out, but Inside Out 2, I just don't feel that way about. And for me personally, the character designs of the new emotions, I was kind of whatever about. Obviously, I wasn't gonna like let that, you know, decide my opinion, but I was a little like, meh. So I was gonna give it the proper chance, so go to see the movie, and I was expecting more. I was definitely expecting more. Also, I did appreciate what someone else said, that it's like, it is a little like, oh, we could have seen more than just she's at camp for 3 days and that's the whole movie. But obviously, like, you know, they were trying to have this whole story about anxiety and everything. One of the things I really liked from the first movie was the incorporation of the parents, and they are barely here at all. Like, we really did not get to see them. What I did appreciate about this movie versus the first movie was I felt like we were more seeing the emotions, and I didn't really feel like I got to know Riley as a character. And I thought that was kind of nice this time around. We got to see her interacting with her friends, interacting with you know, her potential new teammates and everything. I thought that was really nice to get to like more see her outside of just in her head, which was nice. But I just feel that the certain things that they added, the sarcasm, stream of consciousness, I mean, it's fine, it's okay. I just was a little like, okay. What I especially was not really excited about was the vaults, so her deep dark secrets, entering there, like, you know, we get to see this more, you know, more like the Dora type, the preschool type character, and then you see the video game character, and then her, you know, major deep dark secret. And for me, those additions were not for me. I did not particularly appreciate it. I was kind of whatever. Like, I like when a cartoon in an animation, everything's very consistent with how characters are designed. And obviously they're going to be different because they're supposed to be a totally different creation than her own emotions, her own brain and universe, whatever you want to call it. But for me, I was very much like, can we move on? I was not amused. I was not having fun with that part. And I would say the hard-hitting moments, the emotional moments, really were subpar for me. I know a number of people talked about crying for the end of the movie, and does not hit. The movie does not hit. What I did appreciate was the fact that we did get to see a little bit with Joy, showing how, you know, she really did learn her lesson from the first movie, and so she's solidly connected with sadness, and that's why she's trying to be more open and trying to hear out anxiety before obviously anxiety just totally takes over. But it was nice to see that she grew, that she learned. And also seeing so many of the emotions, like, they're all still working together. Like, yes, they can sometimes be polar opposites, but their still primary goal is to help Riley, so that, you know, it's nice to see anger, fear, disgust, all of them, not just sadness and joy, like, do want to do the right thing, be a part of, I don't know, like, its own little community, you know? And it was nice when Joy was starting to freak out and everything, and Anger was the one to be like, yeah, we're on your side, we're on your team. You know, it was a very solid state. I don't know, words today are not really working for me. I just feel a little disappointed by the movie. I know plenty of people enjoyed themselves. For me, I don't know. I guess I'd be in the 5 to 6 out of 10 range. I was not very much enjoying myself. Like, was it, like, bad? Was I wanting to leave the theater? No. But for the most part, for what was happening, it just did not hit for me. I was not in that mode of, like, this is great, fantastic, or decent, good. Like, I was not feeling that way. And I would say what is disappointing, because of all the promo that we got for the movie, the fact that it's like at the very end of the movie is when we get to see in the mind of her mom and dad. It's a little like, oh, but they were so good in the first movie. Like, we really barely got to see them, which, like I said, was disappointing. I mean, it was cool, that little thing where Disgust is figuring out that the friend is hiding something, and it was amusing where then the other friend, in her mind, they spill the tea, and so that's when she blurts out the fact and everything. Like, there are things in it that I appreciated. I did like the friends, and it was one of those things that was interesting, trying to figure out, especially where anxiety is first starting to, you know, combat and talk about things with Joy, that it's like one of those things that, like, is Joy right? Is anxiety right? Is there probably more of a solid middle ground for that? But it was definitely interesting to see, like, is it still going to be, does Joy have to learn something? Does anxiety have to learn something? Is there a combination? But no, it was definitely interesting at times. Now, I would say I was very, very surprised. I did not expect this. The fact that Embarrassment really was like the MVP. He ended up being a really good, solid character, and a really important character for good things to happen later in the movie. So that was really nice to see. Now I would say anxiety, envy, ennui, which I still say, why couldn't they just call it boredom? But, you know, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. For the most part, I was kind of like, whatever. I mean, envy, I appreciate because it was voiced by the girl from Bottoms, and I really did like that movie, so she was definitely good. But for the most part, these new emotions I was not too solid on. I was not very amused by. I gotta be honest, I don't feel like I'm, if you will, my train of thought is getting lost, okay? But I don't know. I was not very much into this one. It is like a little bit of like, eh. Like I'm saying, I'm happy the movie is doing well. Apparently there's now going to be a series on Disney Plus later in time where it's like the dreams, you know, like the dream productions from the first movie is going to be like this whole thing. So, hey, that could be cool if that's good. But for the most part, I'm like, you guys did a great, awesome, solid job of a movie in Inside Out. And Inside Out 2 did not need to exist. It's fine. It is passable. It's something to watch. But am I going to watch it again? No. And as you can see, I really don't have that much to say. Honestly, like, I just don't feel strongly about it. Like I'm saying, I'm disappointed. I really did want to love this movie. Like I said, most anticipated movie of the year. I was really looking forward to it. And I'm not saying this is a bad movie, but for me, it just was kind of nothing for me. It just did not hit. And I know some people are like, oh, okay. Now this is where I guess I'll get into spoilers, because I might as well bring it up. But this is a thing for me. For some people they were bringing up, they're like, oh yes, I have anxiety or I've experienced a panic attack. So that was so hard to watch when, you know, anxiety is going through the spiral and everything and no one can help her and everything like that. And then she's having her panic attack and everything else that Riley is. And I just feel that there are other people who've experienced that too, but that doesn't mean they're gonna get emotional because of it being portrayed in this movie. And that doesn't mean that certain experiences aren't just as valid. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I just feel that to just say, oh, because you experienced that, that makes it so you're emotional. Hey, it worked for you. It really hit for you, and I'm happy for you, but it just didn't work for me. And for Inside Out, that was the movie of all the movies I have seen, and I've seen a lot of movies in my life. That movie is, I think, the movie that, of things to relate to my life, was the one when I was going through certain things, because back when Inside Out came out, I was 14 years old, and I'm 23 now, so obviously things have changed, obviously, but during that time of my life, I was going through it, and watching that movie, that was a really hard time. Like, obviously, as anyone has seen, whether they watch YouTube commentaries or just experience it themselves, for a lot of people, they got very emotional. They got very sad. They cried. Like, they felt a lot from that first movie. And like I'm saying, I do understand that other people were getting emotional about this Inside Out too. But that movie really hit for me because it really was like basically a movie about my life for that certain period of time, and it was really hard because I kind of have complicated emotions about that movie, because it's like, yeah, it's a really good movie, I really connect to it, but also the movie kind of hurts because it's kind of sad like the whole time, which is not the greatest, but obviously the importance of, you know, feeling sadness and everything. And here's the thing, to get back to Inside Out 2, the thing for me is I felt like the hard-hitting moments, the emotional moments, so much of Inside Out was so cohesive and put together, and it just did really good. And then when we get to that moment in Inside Out 2, where they finally get to the back of the mind, they find her personality and everything, and Joy is just now she has to get sad and ask about what's to be done. I'm like, all right, here we go. This is the moment. This is the moment that's really gonna hit, right? And I'm just, this is underwhelming. I mean, like, the only thing is, like, yeah, I guess when you grow up, you feel less joy, and it's like a lot of people really related to that. I just feel like, yeah, but I just feel the lesson this movie is where it's like, yeah, the emotions cannot control Riley, cannot control you. You know, you have to decide things instead of the emotions taking over and everything. I just feel like it's been done in so many stories and done better. I just feel like this really was not necessary. Now, I intentionally actually wore this shirt because I was like, all right, I need something that's more like the emotions in the movie. Let's like go for some color. So I went for that. Like, I don't know, I really don't have much to say. I've actually been filming almost 20 minutes, but I just feel kind of empty about this movie, kind of whatever. So I'm sorry, it's not cohesive, if you will, kind of like the movie, but I don't know. I'm trying to give a review. I don't know how I feel, guys. I mean, no, I know how I feel. I just was not about it, and I kind of would be like, yeah, let's just take that out. Yeah, whatever. Like, this movie, no, it just wasn't for me. I would say, like, of the Pixar sequels, for the most part, this was way better than so many others, but it just was not necessary. It did not hit for me. I was just kind of whatever about it. Now, I would say another thing that I was a little disappointed in, what was cool about the first movie was after her story ends and everything, after Riley's story ends and everything, then we get to see into so many other people's heads and see, you know, cutesy little things. But all we got this time around for the credits was just the little scene they gave us for trailers, for promo, where it's just finding out, it's like, yeah, she went away for 3 days and all she says is fine, and that was it. It's like, you guys really could have done better, giving us a little bit more fun in the credits. Like, I don't know, guys. I'm a little just kind of empty about it, kind of whatever. Now, one thing that was pretty decent that actually did surprise me was Hawke. Now, I've only really seen her in Stranger Things, and I did not like her at all. She just does not work for me. Whether it be her character, her performance, whatever it may be, just does not work for me. However, I will say her voice acting in this movie was really good. I was not the biggest fan of Anxiety, and yeah, she is a little bit of an antagonist, but then, you know, she learns things, and that obviously Anxiety is something that's necessary, but too much of it can be no good, just like anything. Like, she did good. I was pretty pleased, like the fact that it's like, oh, you can give a pretty good performance. I'm happy about that, but I don't know. It really was nothing for me. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of it. I tried my best to think of some things to say, but for the most part, it's kind of like, hey, if you want to watch it, go ahead, but Inside Out is really the only one that really matters. Like, I think it was cool that we got to see the characters doing other things, but that was it, really. So, hey, I hope more stuff this year, whether it be TV shows or movies that come out, are going to be better, because I just was it was very whatever for me. I really, nothing at all. But I hope you guys enjoyed the movie, and hopefully, even though to me it feels like I said nothing in this review, hopefully it's going to be a little bit more cohesive when I actually edit it, because right now I just feel scrambly, if you will, circular, if you will, spiraling, but, you know, I tried my best to, I really did try my best, but, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, comment below, and if you liked this video and would like to see more movie content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I really am not like this. Usually I'm very solidly cohesive, and even if like I don't like something, I can kind of be more like on that line, and if I really liked it, I can talk about that. But this one, it was a little like, meh. And I feel like almost no one can agree with me. I'm not saying, I'm sure there are people who felt the way I did, but I personally did not witness anything. So if you were like me, hit me up, let me know, because I was a little like, I was not very pleased. I guess that's it, guys. Goodbye. Alright, I hear Tiffany lost her train of thought while reviewing Inside Out 2. What in the world happened? Oh, Joy, didn't see you there. Me and Anxiety, we've been, doing some interesting things, if you will, with the mind. Joy, what can I say? Gotta go kind of crazy, can't I? You know me. You know, I thought you would have been a bit more passionate about this. Isn't frustration part of your whole deal? Sadness and Anxiety got it covered. You learn to pick your battles. Now, if you got a real bad movie to rant on, well, I'm your guy. But where's Disgust? I'm sure she's got something to say. Oh, I can't even look at it. Ugh. You take a few weeks break and everything goes to... Well, thank you guys so much for watching this little skit. I hope you enjoyed it. As you can see, things got a little bit hectic during this time to review, and then the time to edit, and then the time to make this little sketch. But either way, I hope you guys liked it, and hopefully Anxiety and Sadness do not give me such a hard time next time. So, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.